If you're in debt and feeling overwhelmed, I want you to hear this first. You're not bad with money, you're not behind in life, and you most certainly aren't alone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe, a licensed certified public accountant with over 10 years experience in corporate and public accounting. I have an extensive background in accounting, audits, and taxes, and I'm all about helping you take control of your money and live smarter. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on all the notifications. And check out our blog site where we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As a CPA, I've worked with people at every income level, and debt doesn't come from laziness, it comes from life. So today, I'm walking you through simple, beginner friendly steps to getting out of debt without shame, pressure, and most certainly without the complicated financial jargon. If you're just starting your personal finance journey, this video is for you. Debt isn't just financial, it's also emotional. Debt feels so heavy because it often shows up as stress, guilt, avoidance, and also that consistent feeling of I should be doing better. The goal today isn't perfection. The goal is clarity and control. Once you understand what you're dealing with, the real fears start to lose its power. The first step to getting out of debt is probably the hardest step, but also one of the most important steps. Step one to getting out of debt is facing the numbers. What you need is a list of all your debts. Not to judge you, not to panic, just to see them. So, I have a little bit of homework for you. Grab a pencil and a pen, grab a notebook and a pencil or a pen. Open up your laptop and open up maybe an Excel spreadsheet, or simply open up a notes app on your phone. So, here's what I need you to do with whatever you're going to write this down with. I need you to write down all of your credit cards, your student loans, any auto loans, medical bills, and personal loans. And for each one, you're going to write down the balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment, how much it is, and also the due date of that minimum payment. Remember, numbers are just information. They are not a reflection of your self-worth. Now that step one is over with, let's move on to step two. Next, we're going to want to know what's coming in and what's going out. So that way we can better understand the cash flow. So, step one was to face our numbers. Now, here in step two, we're going to understand our cash flow. And at the basic level, the one thing we're going to look at is how much did you make each month? And then we're also going to look at how much did you spend each month? And with that spending, we're going to split those expenses into two categories, our needs and our wants. Now, let's quickly go over what is a need. A need is something that you must have in order to survive. So think of housing. So if you're paying rent or a mortgage, that's a need. Think of food. You need it to fuel your body. That's a need. And think of transportation, of how you get back and forth between wherever you're going, whether it's to work, whether it's to your business, or whether you're coming back home. So that's a need. And then what are our wants? Our wants are things that we don't necessarily need to survive in life, but they make life that much more better. So these are things like eating takeout, those subscriptions you may have, and also some of your online shopping. This isn't about cutting everything, it's about understanding what's possible. Now we're moving right along into step number three. And this may surprise you because step number three is going to be to build an emergency fund slash buffer. Before we want to aggressively pay down the debt, we're going to want to save at least $500 to $1,000 if you can. Why? Because without it, every unexpected expense becomes new debt. This small buffer will help us to reduce our stress, prevent backsliding, and also protects momentum. Plus, it seems like whenever you start something new, life starts lifing. So we want to make sure that we can avoid that by saving at least this little buffer to help our peace of mind. There's many ways to pay off your debt. There are all kinds of strategies out there on the internet and ChatGPT that you can look up. So step number four is choosing a debt payoff strategy. Here in this video, we're going to talk about two proven methods that are very popular: debt snowball and debt avalanche. Again, there are many different types of debt payoff strategies you can use. If you want to do a simple Google search or a ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, You can choose whichever one is best for you. But here in this video, we're going to talk about two proven methods that have withstood this time: snowball and the avalanche. In our first one, we're going to talk about the debt snowball method. So what we're going to do is we're going to pay our smallest balance first. So whatever that is, whether it's your credit card balance, whether it's a personal loan, if it's an auto loan or student loan debt, we're going to want to pay that smallest balance first. Why? Because this helps build our confidence quickly, and it's a quick win. It's great for motivation to keep us going and to let us know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Our next method is going to be the debt avalanche method. And in this method, we're going to pay off the highest interest rate first. This one has been proven to save more money over time because you're paying off that high interest rate a lot faster. And it's great for discipline because you'll see a little bit more of what's going on and what's coming out. Neither method is better than the other. The best plan is the one that you'll actually stick to. The best one for you, you can follow something that you can follow consistently. You won't quit at the 30 days. And remember, consistency beats perfection. So the biggest thing here is we want to be consistent with whatever method we choose. While we're attacking one debt, here in step 5, we're going to make sure that we stay on top of all of our current payments. So while we're attacking one debt, we're going to make sure that all of our other current debt, we're going to try to stay on top of making those minimum payments on everything else. This will help us to avoid late fees, not incur such high interest, and it protects your credit. Remember, consistency beats intensity. You don't need to live on beans and rice while you're getting out of debt. Remember, you don't need to be Rambo and go to the extreme while you're paying off your debt. You don't want to punish yourself. Instead of cutting everything off, what we're going to do is we're going to want to reduce what doesn't matter. So think of your values and what matters most to you at this point in your life. And it's going to help to keep what you want sane. Suitable habits beat extreme ones every time. Step 7 is simple, but also hard at the same time. Stop adding new debt that doesn't matter, or at least try to avoid it. During this time of paying off our debt, the biggest thing we want to do is pause any unnecessary spending. So think about what's important to you. Getting out of debt has to be important enough for you to want to not spend on things that aren't necessary. And you're going to want to avoid I'll deal with it later purchases. So any of those things that say, hey, pay now, buy now, pay later, we're going to try to avoid those because they're not really good for us. And it also slows down our progress. And then remember, every new dollar of debt slows down your progress. So that's more debt you have to pay off on top of the debt we're trying to get rid of right now. Depending on your situation, getting out of debt doesn't necessarily happen overnight. That's why here in step 8, we're going to try something a little bit to help us ease and get out of debt quicker, which is to increase our income. Some of the ways we're going to want to increase our income is to look for overtime opportunities at your current job. Maybe even look for a side gig. Maybe sell some of those unused items that you haven't touched in years. Or maybe you walk right into your boss's office and ask them for a raise. Remember, every small increase adds up faster than you think. Over time, that debt will be paid off in no time by looking to increase your income. When you open up your loan balance and your credit card balances and you actually see them going down, that's progress, which is super motivating. That's why in step number 9, we're going to track our progress and reward ourselves. Be sure that you're tracking all your balances as they're going down. It'll help to keep you motivated and in the game. And maybe also don't forget to celebrate as you pay off accounts. And how are we going to celebrate? How about we cook at home or do something very cheap? And then we're also going to recognize our consistency. Consistency is the name of the game. You're doing something hard and what really matters, which is getting out of debt and getting your life on track. Getting out of debt isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, making one good decision, and being patient with yourself. If you're watching this video, you're taking one powerful step. Be sure to like if it helped you out a lot, and share it with a friend who also may be trying to get out of debt. And join me next week as we talk about how to build wealth over time.